So you've finished step 1, which is finding the countries, their location, capitals, their location. Now it's time for step 2. Winnie needs your help. Can you do it? So I would suggest after I go through the right answers on the next slide that you guys pause the video so you can see what the correct answers were and you can edit your sheet accordingly. And just double check to make sure that you're using your skills well, and if there's any errors. Keep in mind these are approximate answers, they aren't exact answers, so if you're in the ballpark, that's totally fine. Then after that, I'm going to go through what the next step is, and we'll have, I'll say, based on the amount of work that you're going to do, until Wednesday evening for that, and then I'll show you the third step, which we'll have until the following Monday. And then the final challenge that there will be for finding Winnie. Okay? All right, here goes. So, first one is Brazil, with the capital of Brasilia, with 15 degrees south and 51 degrees west. Next, Sudan, with Khartoum at 16 degrees north and 33 degrees east. Third is Canada, with a capital at Ottawa at 45 degrees north and 75 degrees west. Followed by France, with the capital of Paris at 47 degrees north, 3 degrees east. It's right by that prime meridian. Argentina, with Buenos Aires as the capital, at 35 degrees south, 59 degrees west. India, with the capital of New Delhi, at 29 degrees north, 78 degrees east. Indonesia, with the capital of Jakarta, at 3 degrees south, 108 degrees east. A lot of people put down Malaysia as the answer, but it's Indonesia with the capital of Jakarta. And lastly, Iraq, with the capital of Baghdad. Okay, so I would pause the video here, make sure you have the right answers down because you're going to want to reference all your sheets and make sure you have the right information. Okay, next step. Step 2. The CIA, or Central Intelligence Agency, can help bring us closer to finding Winnie's captors. The CIA is... So why are we using the CIA? It's because the CIA is in charge of foreign intelligence. And since we're outside of the country looking for Winnie's captors, the CIA is the place to go. You will be gathering, processing, and analyzing national security information from around the world, mostly through the use of human intelligence that the CIA has gathered for us to use. Some potential contacts at the CIA: Jason Bourne, Jack Ryan. Call them if you need help. So you are going to use the CIA to learn more about the way these different countries work, because we'll get some clues about the final location of the captor, and the more information you have about these countries, the better off you'll be. You'll pay attention to people in society. You'll also pay attention to economics, the flag, the photos, and gather information about what's really going on in this country to help you come to a conclusion. So this link, which will be shared with you in a document, will take you to a website called the CIA World Factbook. Here you will use information from country pages to collect information about these countries. So you've been shared with you an organizer that looks like this, where you will put in the different countries in this column and then gather the information. I have completed a row based on Mexico, which is not one of our possible countries, but I want to show you how I did that. So first I would look at people in society, and it says demographics / ethnic groups, religion, and any other information that I think is important. So I will go to the World Factbook, and I will change this to Mexico. So once I'm here at Mexico, I can see that there's a flag, there's it looks like a map, we have photos, And then it says introduction, which I would encourage you guys to read the introduction of the country because it tells you a little bit more about it, and that's information you can gather. Then with other things, we can gather information about geography, about location, about borders. Oops. Sorry. And then you can do government, economy, people, and society. So that's where we want to go. So people and society, I want to look back. What do I need to collect? So it says demographics, ethnic groups, religion. So if you notice, it tells you the total population. Oh, ethnic groups. Okay, so it says here that the Mestizo people, which is a combination of Amerindian and Spanish, is about 62% of the country, which is a huge majority. So I would, I would put down that the majority of people are Mestizo, 62%, and then it looks like the next largest is simply that Amerindian, which is 21%. So then that's something that I will put down as well. If I continue to scroll, I see religions, and wow, 82.7% are Roman Catholic. That's largely because of the Spanish influence within the country, because they were a colony for a very long time, but we have 82%, and really not much of anything else within the country. So that's information that I will put down as well. Then if we're looking economics, we can always collect information about average age of people within the country, the population growth rate. You need a growing population in order to grow your economy. How many people live in urban areas? Those are all pieces of information we can gather and could possibly help us. But we want to look at economics. So I'm going to go to economy. And I'm definitely going to read this overview really quick to tell us a little bit about it. It tells us right off the bat that the $2.4 trillion economy is the 11th largest in the world. And that's reflected here, so in the GDP in 2017. So I might add that information. I did, 11th largest economy. Oops, that should be internationally. So when I go back here, I could also collect information about how much of the country's GDP, which is the measure of their economy essentially, is based on agriculture, is based on industry, is based on services. So that's information that I would collect. Well, what are they doing mostly in the country? Mostly the country is going to be using this is the labor force. This is the GDP. Mostly the country is going to be based off of services, and that's where most people are getting their jobs, and then followed by industry, and then follow that by agriculture. So knowing Mexico's climate, it does make sense that a lot of their economy is not based on agriculture because it is a drier climate and a warmer climate. So that is all information that I would make sure to include in here. So talking about agriculture, this is labor distribution. Talking about unemployment, which you can gather there, talking about the products that are produced. I didn't write down every product, I took big ones. Then for flag, if I scroll back up, I can click on the flag here, and then the World Factbook is going to tell me how it's designed, what it means, and all of that good stuff. So I put green, white, red vertical stripes, and then there's that eagle in the middle that I described. And then lastly, I can go to photos, and I can scroll through these, and I'm really looking for pictures actually. So here we have a picture of a cathedral. Here we have some step pyramids. And that's information that I would put down. Okay, so there's a number of step pyramids from Mayan culture. There's Roman Catholic cathedrals throughout the country. So those are all things that we should collect. Our goal is to collect information about all these countries before we get exposed to some maps that we're going to gather some more information about what's going on within those countries. Okay. If you have any questions, as always, please make sure to ask me. You guys are doing a great job. Keep with it. That's pretty much it. Miss you guys. Hope everything's going well.